let me ask you a question, Manny. Who would you rather be, Nas or Jay-Z at the end of the day?
Huh? Biggie. I'm going with Biggie.
Who would you rather be, Nas or Jay-Z?
Who would I ever be?
Yeah.
Like in the life right now. Like
Yeah. Who would you rather be?
Success level.
You said Biggie?
No.
Oh, I'm about to say.
No.
I don't want to be him, yo.
Who would you rather?
I was like, I love Biggie, but I mean,
If you could choose a career path, or if you could choose a career path of Nas or Jay-Z, who would you choose?
Oh, Nas.
Really?
Oh yeah, yeah. I would choose Nas.
Why?
You know why? It's put it this way. Russell Simmons. Yeah, I'd rather have the respect, and I like artistically, I would choose Nas's path.
Okay, well, we actually
Like what I'm saying is that like Jay, like I was listening to Magna Carta and
garbage album. Ooh.
right, and
Where'd that come from?
yeah, it was. I mean, I feel you, man. Like, and I'm saying to myself, I remember listening to Jay when I was 11, like when I was 12, and I said, yo, he still sounds the same. He talks about the same. Like, it's like, you know how you be like, yo, like, because like he's close to 50, and I said, yo, he got businesses. I'm like, yo, I know he got more to talk about than this. Like Nas, like growing up with like Nas at 19 was talking about like Gandhi and Marvin Gaye. Like he was always on like at least he was thinking about other stuff. Like Jay was like Russell Simmons put it best. He was like in his book. Did you ever read that book? Dog Rockers? It was a good book, man. He said he was comparing DMX to Jay-Z. He said if you listen to DMX's albums and lyrics, it'll get you closer to God. If you listen to Jay-Z, it'll take you closer to hell.
Wow.
Take you straight to hell. This is Russell. This is what I'm saying. So I mean, on like an artistic, lyrical contact, like if I just put his verses in a row and read them,
Right.
nah.
Well,
but
let me ask you a question.
business wise,
Yeah.
I mean, he's done his thing business wise, but like, you know.
And you got the Khalees and you got the Beyonce thing. I mean, which one would you take? I might take Khalees.
No, yo, Khalees is crazy. Beyonce's
What'd you say?
She might be crazy.
Who,
I'll say
Beyonce?
might be. She's just kind of.
You might meet her, man. You better watch it.
Chill. I think she's chill. No, in a good crazy. You know, good crazy. But
Is there a good
kind of crazy? Yeah,
Crazy
kind
in
of
love,
crazy.
right? Exactly, crazy.
But you
in
know,
love.
because Beyonce be giving them crazy looks though. She just because she don't say much in public, but she be.
I'm not a fan
I
of
be
Beyonce
like-
though. I'm not a
I be
fan.
like-
I'm not a fan, man.
I'm
No, what I'm saying is, you ever seen a woman that's so beautiful?
I
that
don't
she
need
just-
Beyonce though.
that
It's
she's
cool
like-
me. Just I need me around the way, girl. I'm like Todd. I'm like LL.
There you go, man.
Like, good man, I'm good.
You ever met a
Y'all know
girl
that's my
so
cousin,
beautiful?
right? I
Who?
gotta put that out there.
That's your cousin?
Tell him.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's his cousin.
Yeah, it's my cousin.
Congrats, man.
I've been man.
All right.
No.
Family.
Right, you have a family,
So, like-
right?
He's from Farmers, right?
Yeah, Farmers in Linden. Like I was I was actually around him during the making of a couple of albums. Man, I've known him since been around him since I was 3.
Right.
But like, yeah,
Pat, can we confirm this?
Yeah, you actually can.
Okay. All right.
I was around. That's why like hip hop, man. It's like I haven't met a lot of these guys, even the ones that I talk about, man. Like I personally met them, man. Like even as a teenager, I was around Def Jam, man, in Manhattan and in the building.
He's
and all
rocking a
that.
FUBU shirt, people.
Yeah, for us. No, I don't. But yeah, man, and he also taught me, you know, a lot about hip hop in the game and, you know, where it came from. And I mean, he would school me on African Bambaataa and,
Right.
you know,
The
what I mean,
originals.
the elements of
Originators.
hip hop. I kind of wonder speaking of that, how they feel. Because the legends of hip hop, it's a genre that's young. So a lot of
Yeah.
those guys, the legends are still alive,
Yeah.
other than the ones, you know, some of them, of course, have. But for instance, like DMC, did you read that? What he said? DMC said this. This is, and we probably near the wrap up of this part of the conversation. This is dope. He said that 98%. You can Google this, listeners. You can Google this. DMC from Run DMC said that 98% of the rap songs out now are bad demos.
Wow.
You remember how we were talking about the quality control and how it just comes out,
Right.
music just get shipped.
Right.
And I was so funny. I just told that to my girlfriend like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, yo, I'm listening to some of this music. I'm like, this is the stuff that back in the 90s, like cats would be like, what?
Yeah.
Because there was so many MCs that just bit the dust in the 90s. They didn't even make it, but they was nice.
Yeah. Everybody knows somebody.
We can't even talk about like tragedy, Gaddafi,
Right.
and we can't even get into these guys like, but they just wasn't. It was a different frequency. You know what I'm saying? But man, he said 98. Like, so I wonder how, even these guys feel. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are the origin of their art form.
Right.
See, I know they can say, well, I'm making money, son. So, and it's like, dog, you don't even, number one, you're going to be broke in 2 years. That's a whole nother conversation.
Right.
And you don't really don't have any money now.
Yeah.
Technically.
Technically. Gotta pay that money back.
Technically, you don't have any money back. But to me as an artist, like, I would take that to heart if you are an artist, is what I'm saying. That's like if, like, who could be like, if D'Angelo was like, yo, man, I thought your album was whack. I would die, yo. I would die.
Right.
I'm like, you don't like it? I would try to. I would hold it in like.
As a warm tear.
Yo, you don't like it wouldn't even matter if it went platinum.
Right.
And we just out. People was loving it, and he didn't like it. It hurt my feelings. These guys, I don't think a lot of them care about that. They don't even care about the art. So that's what I'm saying is. It's whatever. But yo, he said so 98%. I just wonder how some of these rappers. Well, number one, I don't know if they even care or even heard it. But he said it, man, and the more
or he even know who he is.
Yeah.
I wasn't saying it like that. I'm saying.
Hold on, everybody get quiet.
Ooh. I wasn't saying it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people don't have a history of rap like that. Some people don't have a history.
And that's a small demographic.
Yeah.
Of people that even know about DMC.
Yeah. So and that gets into another conversation, man. Like, I don't know, man. Look, it's next year as we get into February and Black History Month, but we gotta learn our Black history.
So
you know what I mean? I know we gotta learn history in general. We gotta learn
that. Let me ask you a question.
We gotta,
did you see the Russell Simmons thing with the? Did you see that? Did you see?
Oh, the Harriet Tubman sex tape or something? I heard about that, man. What was?
It's a
some
comedy
parodies.
Nah, I feel a certain way.
Did he make
about
the tape or
no? He just like produced it.
What?
Ow. No, wait.
Hold on. Can we come back here?
Yeah.
Let's
Moved himself to the edge.
Can we just go back to our usage of verbs here? I said make. You said no. He produced it.
No, what I mean, he wasn't. Let me explain myself.
I'm just saying, yo. I went to Southern. I'm just saying, yo. I mean, yo. Look, I got a couple learning gaps. I'm gonna admit that.
What I mean by that is he wasn't behind the camera, rolling the camera.
So he put his money behind it.
He put his.
That's
money
even
behind
worse.
It. I don't.
What did he do? It was a Harriet Tubman.
It was a Harriet Tubman. It was a spoof about Harriet Tubman wanted to blackmail Massa. So she had one of the slaves go into the closet and bring out a camera and film her having sex with Massa. But he's hitting it from the back, then she hitting him from the back, and then and
you know what though, man? I don't. We probably it's too much to even talk about now, but I can even tell you now, man. It's even much more to that symbolism than we even realize.
Really?
But that's probably beyond the scope. But now that you told me that like that, I'm gonna go look into that, man.
They pulled it,
and
I'll
be honest,
they pulled it though.
I understand.
No, it's real. It's
but
like
based
real
on
actors.
who even told me who put his money behind it, I'm not surprised. But that's beyond the scope, based on what I know. But man, what I'm saying is that it's just sad, some of the stuff, man.
Well, see, the thing about it is the way I don't have a problem with it.
Stuff could be a lot better, man.
I don't have a problem with it because I guarantee if that skit were on the Dave Chappelle show, everybody would have laughed at it. And it tries to go for humor, but when do we get to the point as black people that we can just sit back and
Well, the thing is this: it's like Dave Chappelle is his context is and in most things is the intent of it.
Okay.
Even in life is the intent
Sure,
of why, and the intent of why you do things. You know what I'm saying?
Same with the rap game.
They be like, why'd you do that? They be like, you're a young mother, be like, why?
Right.
Why'd you do it? You know what I'm saying? Father want to know why. Like he based on this. Nah, but Dave Chappelle, he used to have craziness on his show.
Right.
But he was taking jabs.
Okay.
Like Richard Pryor. Like I saw the documentary on Richard Pryor. I say everybody should watch it. Yes, everybody should watch that.
Okay.
Everybody should watch it. Dave Chappelle, see, I would put him more in that lane of taking shots. Like, I'm going to put this out there because of this. Now, the fact that he pulled it is interesting.
I think he had to.
No. But what was...
There was a backlash.
No, I'm saying what was... Not even the backlash, but what was the... See what I'm saying? What was the point of it?
I think because of the backlash.
Right.
I don't think he thought it was going to be received that I don't know how. It boggles my mind. That, you know, it's almost like,
right.
yo, we got, you know, like, yo, we got a tape of like we got a tape of Martin Luther King having an affair.
Right. It's just
That's the thing that you pay for it and you set it on fire. Right. Like you literally pay for it and you set it on fire. You like, oh, yo, I'm about to expose it. You don't have no other copies of this? No, this is the only one. How much you want of it? $1 million. All right, bet. I'm going to get it to you. And this is the only copy you have, right?
Yeah.
And I go to the
Yo,
woods
no, man.
and I set it on fire. You know, I go to a street and set it on fire.
Like,
You full of it, Mick. You wouldn't do that.
You will never be able to travel in the African American community for life, yo. You will be banned.
Yes. It's like
You will be banned.
It's like
you are the man who exposed the man that is like one of the figureheads.
well,
for
why we
civil
sitting
rights.
here right now?
No, it's
It diminishes his.
Yeah,
Damn,
but see,
that's
but
not
this
true.
is the same
That's not
guy.
true. That's not true.
This is the same guy. Was it 2 weeks, 3 weeks ago, a month ago or so? He criticized Don Lemon on TV.
Don Lemon, yeah, the guy on CNN.
On CNN about making some comments about black people.
Right.
See what I'm saying is that, see, the thing, if you're going to do something, you can't be a total contradiction to your own philosophy.
That's
You
true.
understand what I'm saying? Say, if you're going to do that, then you brother, you like, because he's been out here doing yoga and peace
Right.
talks and everything like that, like, and everything, you know, because I got my things about
Him.
that particular person in the past, but it's like, yo, but don't pull it. If you had a purpose, why you pull it?
Well, see. Now that's well, no, it might not be that, Mickey. It might be he put it out there to get some attention for his web series.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Al. You know
So
this.
you know
This
what
is
I'm
this
saying?
is this is not the Optimist League.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Keep it on the one, brother.
I'm just saying. No. I'm saying it could have been a ploy to get attention for the show. Does that make sense?
I hope, I really, you know what? The only thing that I feel is, you know, we're talking about a guy that started Def Jam. We're talking about a guy that started countless other Fat Farm
And the
you
Rush
know,
Card,
the
yeah.
Rush Card.
Give us
You
your
know,
money.
Countless
That's right.
other companies. You know, we're talking about a man that has some intelligence, right? And I just feel like if we say
we let it slide. though.
Harriet Tubman sex tape.
It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, the woman that they got a picture of her in a rocking chair with white swaddling cloth.
What's the meaning?
In
I want to know the
churches.
meaning, yo. Because
Churches.
we live in a time where there's like when stuff is they driving us crazies with all these symbols and meanings of stuff like that. Like, but stuff like that make you be like, yo, what's going on, brother?
The woman that helped people escape
The
from slavery.
the woman that said I could have saved twice as many more slaves if they
Right.
just knew they were slaves.
Slaves, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Now rest in peace to hers because it's her 100-year anniversary of her death.
And that was a great way to honor her. I really want to say. Though.
No, come on. See,
what-
that's
what-
called sarcasm, people. If you don't know, it's called
That's what I
sarcasm.
think, though.
No, but like
Listen.
when does it get to a point where we can? Sometimes somebody.
I'm not laughing. You know,
a
Al.
great person said sometimes a cigar is just a cigar.
Hey, look, man.
Sometimes comedy just be.
You know, because the thing is this: when I saw Django,
Yeah.
I couldn't laugh, yo. And I know some people laughed. I couldn't. You know how people say things is just funny, like what the KKK, what they did to black people was funny,
No, that wasn't funny.
but it was funny in the movie.
Oh, like when he had the one eye sack.
Yeah, they come in, yeah. It's like it's funny to us. But see, the thing is, they want us to laugh at our history, at our horror,
Right.
because we're already traumatized and we still messed up from it.
Absolutely.
Today.
Totally.
That's a whole nother conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But my thing is the same note. Like, of course, everybody said, I said when I first saw it, but I was just like, but you would never see the Jewish people laugh at the Holocaust.
You're right.
You know, number one, they own media.
Right.
They own media.
Right.
They own media. Like every time I watch the History Channel, man, I'm a World War II expert.
Because of the History Channel now.
I don't even want to watch stuff. I know Germany invaded Poland in 1939, man.
There you go.
I didn't even learn that in school.
Right.
Because it's on TV. And
All the time.
They want you to know.
Right.
You feel me?
Right.
But for us, just laugh at it. It's a joke.
And Frank the movie.
Yo.
No, I mean,
yo,
I
see.
You know what? I feel I feel where you're coming from, because you feel like, you know what, there are other cultures that were able to, like, I guess, take a story and maybe not. I guess the conversation is, when will y'all let it go? Right. Like, when will y'all, like, even with the N-word that's being used, like, white people at these shows saying the N-word, but they're like, no, but
you
it's
still
not,
can't say kite
like
though.
that.
Why?
You can't say the N-word.
They pull.
You can't say
No,
nigga.
you can say nigga.
No, you can't say nigga.
Oh, you can still kind of.
Ask Paula Dean about that.
Oh, I said, hold on.
Ask her about that.
Hers was over the top.
Yeah, that's why. That's the only reason. That was about money.
Wait,
that was
time
just
out.
about money, though. That was about. She was having weddings. She was having slave weddings.
I have no problem with that. Hey, you wanna know why?
Why is that?
Because everything got a price. If somebody want to subject themselves, if you want slaves as your whatchamacallit, sure,
Yeah.
$2 million.
That's true.
Pay for it.
I mean, I could. That part of it is I can understand.
If that's what you want, pay
know.
for it. Now, I might not be one. If you
I mean,
want, but
but
if
be
someone
like,
would give me
I said I won't be your
like,
slave.
but I will take your money and distribute it.
I'm gonna be the butler, just in case we all got to go see that movie, right?
I'm not seeing that.
I got segues, brother.
Wait, I'm not gonna see it. I feel a certain way. I don't want to see any more movies where the African American guy is some guy in servitude. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it no more.
Who this is
The Blind Side. The Blind Side's another one too.
Yeah, that one too. But I don't want it. Like, one part.
I
of the
think he's
trailer,
gonna get an Oscar.
If
you-
they do, I'm gonna be like, done.
He's
I don't
gonna
want
get an
any
Oscar. He's gonna get an Oscar because we get Oscars as butlers, help, hoes.
You know you should
Crooked
let
cops.
them be free.
We
You know,
said-
and while serving in school,
Definitely
you know
hoes.
you should let them be free.
Definitely hoes. Cause shout out to Halle Berry.
I know, man, and she's still fine though. I love Halle Berry.
She was
What's that
going
song?
through a
Halle
hard
Berry.
time.
That's
She
my
was
joint.
going through a
That's my
hard
song.
time, man.
But I couldn't watch the movie, man. When I saw Monsters Ball, man, when it got to that scene on the counter in the house, I lost it. I just couldn't watch it.
No, I could watch it.
Yeah,
I actually
I
watched
watched
it a
some
couple
of it, but it was
times.
like, yo.
Billy Bob Thornton was getting it in.
He was Billy Bob, then. He was just Billy Bob, shorty.
I imagine myself. I was like, damn, what would I have did in that situation?
That's what it's
you know?
about, man.
That's
They like subjecting white men overcoming our black women. That's a big part of that's a whole
Yeah,
that is
it
a
is a whole
plantation
nother-
thing though.
I-
like Scandal. What's the whole? It's a black mistress to the president. A white man be like, you a high class. I want to watch my words, you know.
I don't watch that show.
But I'm saying, but that's the thing
black
about
women
it.
love that
Yeah,
show.
but,
Thursday night, my Facebook feed is
Scandal, she's
Scandal.
a high class hoe mistress to the
Wow.
president.
Is she really?
Yeah.
Wow.
What she works for is
Yeah, they still trying to figure out what she
administration,
does. Then they just found out because my mother, like, she can't fill me in. She's like, Manny, I just found out she's a lawyer. I'm like, okay. Like, what is this? You like really excited to tell me that?
right? Every black woman loves that show.
But what I'm saying is that, our personification still in film is still not where we need to be, yo.
Oh,
It's still
without a
crazy.
doubt.
And I know how much, we all love Tyler Perry, how far he's brought us. But I just,
you gotta.
I just think it's
Now that one thing you gotta say about that, you gotta respect the man's journey.
I do, man.
Cause for him, I mean,
He was homeless, wasn't
everybody
he?
here probably has a mom who has a DVD of his
Yeah,
plays
man,
and stuff.
what?
Those things,
I
church
listen,
trips.
dog. I went to Morgan, so I was there when the new Murphy was
He
built.
was at Morgan though. What? Did he come
I
to
was
Morgan?
there when the new Murphy was built, and I remember it was freshman year. I remember when when women got off church at 2 p.m., brother. What? And and to see a black man dressed as a woman, which is another conversation. But man, it's all good, man.
It's
So
not
yeah,
all
I'm gonna
good.
go check the butler.
It's not all good.
I'm
But,
go check out the butler.
yeah, especially us living here in Baltimore. I mean, maybe we want to touch on that too with the high crime rate, black on black crime here.
Yeah, man.
But I think everything's systematic though. I think that's a product of the environment here that we've been set.
Yeah, when you learn to hate yourself, it's easy to hurt and kill other people that look like you.
Yeah, it's
You know what I mean? It's just like you just a reflection of your own hatred.
yeah.
And that's the product of oppression, man, which is just, it's a hard thing to get out of sometimes for a group of people that's been subject to it for so long. So, I mean, of course, on one hand, you just want to just say, wake up. Like, just You know what I'm saying? Just bounce out of it, you know.
But it's not that easy. Cause I know, like, go ahead.
I was telling a cousin of mine, I was like, it was in the 60s,
Yeah.
like segregate. I mean, it just ended. Like, my grandfather's from Columbia, South Carolina.
I would live there.
And
Shouts out.
Shouts
Two Knots
out.
Road.
Shouts out.
That's
The
one.
Met. What do they call it? The Met. The Metro. But he remembers his father was a sharecropper. You know what I mean? He dealt with somebody telling him how to deal with the land and all that stuff that goes along with it. He remembers the white hoods and all this. You couldn't just talk any type of way to. That's why he moved to Baltimore, because he could not deal with it. And I think the fact that my grandfather is only like a generation in between me and him
He's
understanding
right there, though. He's
slavery.
You talking
it's
to
not
him.
like we talking like 4 or 5 generations ago, where
right here.
back my great grandfather dealt with slavery, and now that was a couple. We talking about. In the 60s, I'm born in the 80s. In the 60s, there was segregation. My mother remembers not being able to go. My mother remembers not being able to go into an establishment because of her color. So to say that, man, look how far we came because we got a black president. I mean, and I know, if you go to South Carolina right now, you want to go to the time warp? Like, if you want to see if it's
The
really...
Confederate flag still hanging. My brother, I remember being in my lifetime 9 or 8, and we rode past a KKK rally in South Carolina.
What town were you in?
I have no
You
idea,
remember?
brother. And I remember we was on like the outskirts coming near North Carolina. Man, and I looked over, right, and I said, "Man, who them guys in them white capes?"
This was at night?
No, it was like at dusk. It was at dusk, right? And she looked over, I was like, "Whoa."
That's
Yo,
powerful.
I said,
That's
"Whoa."
powerful.
I said, "Ma," and I asked her this day, I said, "Ma, why would they burn a cross?" And she could never answer that for me. I said, "Ma, who burns crosses?"
Oh, I'm gonna tell you how real it is.
I was like, come on.
I saw a show last week. On YouTube.
I still don't know it.
On National Geographic, called Taboo.
I've heard of that.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you how real it is. They highlighted a black man who was friends with a lot of guys from the KKK. He started doing reports on them and stuff, and he became friends with a lot of them. And 2 things I found from that was interesting. That whole situation that he was in Silver Spring, Maryland.
Oh God.
He said that he just has like the robes from a lot of guys that got out because they met him and got out of the whole situation. One of the guys was a Baltimore City cop. He has his cop outfit and he got his robe. So this is still real. This came out last week. I will send it to you.
Turned in their sheets.
I will send it to you.
He said
Black
they
guy.
turned in their sheets. Well, some of them have turned in their sheets.
Yeah,
Now they got police uniforms.
He had a police. He
It
had a
said now
Baltimore
they-
City
instead
police.
of the dogs now chasing the stack at the K9.
Yeah, it's the same thing. I mean, like my dad was born in 1964, and that's when all the Jim Crow stuff. We got all our civil rights. My dad's only 49 years old. You know what I'm saying? My dad's 49. So that's just the thing.
64 was what's the word they use? Tumultuous year.
64 was the year we supposedly got all our civil rights.
Oh, we never had no civil rights. That's a whole nother conversation. It gets a little beyond the scope of this. They just let me word this a certain way.
What? I don't
My
know.
thing is
Go
that
ahead.
50 years later, as
Yeah.
we all know. Now, how many people going to the 50-year celebration of the March on Washington?
I'm not.
I've
I
had
didn't know
a
anything
dream
about it.
speech. It's this week.
Okay.
50 years.
Wow.
But the high point of civil rights was voting.
Right.
Hence, right? But then we all know about them.
We'll never vote.
We
Black
all
vote.
know about them abolishing Section 4 and Section 5 of the Voting Rights Act. So the very thing that
the place that needs it.
yeah.
Oh yeah, they trying to.
So here we are. We're gonna go celebrate Dr. King,
Right.
and they've abolished the very thing that set him apart.
You know what's funny?
That set the movement apart.
You know what's funny?
Because we
you
got
say
a
that?
black president.
You
That's
know
what they
what's-
said.
you know what's funny
The
you
Chief
say
Justice said that we live in a. Me and Pat was talking about it. We know, buddy. We live in a post-racial America.
environment,
That's
yeah.
how you.
The funny thing about that, I talked to my grandma about 2 weeks ago. I said, you've been through a lot of like history. You got to see a black president. You were born in the 40s, so you saw a lot of stuff. And I said, do you feel like we're getting better? She said, no, I feel like we're getting worse. She said it's reverting back. So
Amen.
it's sad. It's really sad, but it's.
And what do you think that there's a lady at my job. She was saying she feels that segregation helped us as an African American.
I hear that a lot, man.
And here's her theory. She said when she was growing up, the community that they had was such a stronger community because you had no choice. You had no choice. Yeah, it was like the black people needed each other. You needed the store clerk to give you like an extra loaf of bread.
Yeah.
You needed him to, throw you a little something extra. It was like everybody needed each other. And let's be real. Look, human nature, you cannot like people day. But when you need somebody and they need you and there's a mutual exchange of need, it creates a relationship. When you don't need that person anymore, it's not to say that you out and out become evil to that person, but I do believe the relationship is not being built there. Yeah. You don't need to go to his mom and pop store anymore. You can go to Walmart. You can go wherever you want to go and take your business. It's just that right there, like, and that's not the only person that said it. A lot of people that was born in that era, like my mom's era and stuff, they feel like segregation obviously is bad to make it where people cannot go into places. But I think segregation, if you could have had us go like, you know what, we can assimilate into that area, we can go into that area, but let's not lose what we had when we couldn't go into that area. I think that was powerful. I don't think that it should, when they say segregate, I don't think they mean like we should still not be able to go into certain areas. But I think they mean like what that foundation that was built there, it should have never left. And a lot of people say the crack era kind of killed it.
Powerful.
You know what I mean?
But I mean that I think some of that unity and community, that rhyme, sorry, I think would even help, that the drug era, man. But what happened when I was talking to my mother about that, man, that's a powerful point you make, man. I just can only add to that. I was talking to my mother, and I say my mother was born in 1950. But I said, Mom, your generation probably was a generation that was the kind of first generation of integration, like our parents' generation, where they got to move out to those nicer homes and they got to get nicer jobs and get that promotion that they've been wanting. And, and once we got some of this kind of what we call acceptance, we felt America loved us. We felt that finally we were kind of getting somewhere. But I kind of think their generation, and all the great things that they've done, let me just say that. I'm just saying that I think that they also failed in that transition into integration. I think they kind of failed to share with us the journey and also like to kind of keep some of that core together. I think they believe that when they opened, that door got open, and we ran to freedom, what we call like, we can do anything. Now you're free to roam about the country. Right. It's like they just thought it was going to be good for us. Like now my children are going to have Mitt and Al. The world's your oyster now. Right. Not realizing that y'all ran out there and was like,
well, now what?
It was like, oh wow, this ain't yellow belt racism. This is black belt racism. This ain't racism where I'm going to hit you in your arm. They'll come to you and just brush against you, and you go home, and then you realize that your neck is broke. Like, it's more like...
It's very subtle.
Yes, but they never saw...
Overt.
I don't think they never saw that. They never saw that coming. And now that the impact is come about, it's
Covert.
like... They're like, oh, whoa. And that's and I think that's a hard thing to go back into, like... I don't know, and maybe, like, some people saying the older guys are saying me, like, even like some of the grandchildren of the drug addicts are now not on drugs, because other generations. So sadly, how they say sometimes it takes a generation or two to even wash out,
but it's still here, man. I mean, I think
you're not getting as many. Crackheads are not as much as it. There was a time where. People were getting on crack. I think crack, obviously the pills and stuff is a whole
crack was cheap, man.
a whole nother thing. But I'm just saying, in a positive, if we could take one positive angle, I think the crackheads that are the crackheads are the same ones that were back then, the ones that still living from that time. I think you get a kid from high school coming out. I mean, that person getting hooked on crack, I don't know if that's the thing that would happen. That they may be getting hooked on other stuff. That's a whole nother story, because I think society, people trying to escape whatever.
The drugs always going to be
drugs
here. Always been here.
Always been.
They was getting high there at the poppy fields back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
So some of that is not going to get away. But I think that...
I know you're saying the other side of it, just the balance of it, though.
Yeah, the uncle that was high on crack may have stopped at this point. Or if he didn't stop, he may be dead, which is unfortunate. But it ended with that.
Right.
The next kid is not necessarily high off of crack, leaning, He might be using pills, drugs, whatever, but he's still operating in the world or whatever. You take where you have, society is always going to be trying to escape the fact that you ain't working where you want to work, you ain't living the way you want to live, you in debt, people going to be taking drugs. And that's just a part of it.
No, it is. Needed to escape.
But I do feel that we just have to, I think they fought so hard.
Yeah.
And it was such a long battle. It's almost like if you go through a really, really long battle.
Right. You like.
And you finally win. You're like, okay, that's it.
Yeah.
We good.
Yeah.
We won.
Right.
Because you're talking about you talking about Middle Passage all the way up to the 60s.
They're like, yo, I got a house in the suburbs.
Hey, yeah, like, you won.
And I got a job.
Yeah,
won.
but see, the
I
struggle's
got a
not
degree.
over, though.
I got a degree.
It's not over, though.
You won. But then it's like that movie that ends, and then it's like you won, and then like credits, and then it's like
It's more to this movie. Oh man.
Yeah.
And then
That's the thing, and that's where I think we come in our generation. Like, what have we done to push everything forward? Yeah, we got a black president. What does that mean for us? Does that mean that now everything's post-racial? No. Are we still gonna have problems? Yes. Are black people still probably the most hated on the earth? Probably, and the most feared. And then when I come to meetings at my job here, and I look around, it's only two of us. Everybody else, like, we got old people, young people, like, all of them white. It's only two of us black people here. I mean, I look around.
Because
like,
you are the exception. See, my brother Al, when you are successful and when you make it, you were different.
But see, you gotta.
When you were like, when you didn't make it, you was just like the rest of us.
But you gotta understand. But this is the part that people don't understand. The struggle. I've supposedly made it, quote unquote, if you want to call it that. But with that said, the person that hired me was a white guy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The person above him was a white guy. Now, granted, my boss is black, but the person that hired him.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes to power and influence, I mean, like, we're not a powerful group in this country still, though. I mean, like, when you just talking about what he was talking about, his grandfather, stuff he went through, and my ancestors, his people and stuff, and, it's the last slave died, like, was the 50s, I heard, or on record, the late 40s.
I think they still here, man.
You know what I'm saying? What I'm saying, that's just like the last slave.
Right.
Just died like 50 years ago. What I'm saying is, like, yo, and then I was talking to I got hang around a lot of old musicians, right? And one of them be like, he said, well, Manny, I know what the problem is. He put in his voice, but he's saying, like, we haven't been free that long.
That's true. Very true.
He said, we don't know what it's like to be free. Like, that's why it's like, it's free, or, like, I can buy as many chains as I want now.
Right.
I can buy as many cars. We get money, like Jermaine Dupri, broke.
Right.
Mary J. Blige,
Broke.
Like, we start going down the line, he's like, these first generation millionaires, because they done dealt with people who multi-generational millionaires.
Right.
Money, it's not even, having it is just like, we have talent. Like, we can jump 40 inches in the air. There's money to them,
Right. And that's the thing. I think that's why I'm worried about this.
We need more experience with freedom,
this
man.
new generation of Hispanics people.
But in a
coming
good
in
way,
too.
though, man.
The Hispanic community will probably, unfortunately, leap over us because they've been in Mexico having businesses.
Yeah.
They come over here. They bring their family.
You trying to talk about us like the Asian Africans saying we ain't nothing?
No, I'm not saying. I'm not saying that. But they have the culture of.
Yeah. But they have. You know what every other heritage has over African Americans?
They got unity.
They got family.
Right.
yo, like still, man, like our family structure is the weakest.
I'm gonna tell you what.
And
that's a good point.
Sad though, man.
Think about this.
You think of every other group of people, what structure allows them to elevate? It's family.
Right.
If you look at early New York and Fifth Avenue, it was nothing but Jewish homes.
Yeah.
It's a book you want to read. It's called the Jewish Families of New York. You'll see Sachs, Goldman.
Wow. Right. Those
You know what I mean? Like you'll
huge
see
names now.
Huge
Huge names now.
Yo, like, but they were just families living in houses.
Right. And that's the thing about black communities now. Like when we turn 18, oh, mama
Yeah.
gotta live now. You gotta get out.
We learn independent, privacy.
They
I
don't
could
do
do
that.
it, or I'm doing my own thing.
Right.
It's all about me. We adopted this our culture, which
Right.
capitalism gives, but still everybody else is operating under we on
Right.
the low.
And we're
What? Like, once you're 18, you're grown. Once you're 18, you have it all. And it's like you may not even have a good ass job.
Right.
I
And
didn't
that's-
get a decent
No.
job till I was 25.
Yeah, and that's the thing, and that's a good point that you bring, because yesterday I talked to my older brother, and I have a step brother named Jay, and his parent, he's in college now, but his parents like, nah, he need to get out there and struggle,
See that,
and that's
that's what we do.
right.
That's what we do. What I'm saying
Right.
is that like these people,
You
they
can't
like
win like that.
Yo, but like I said, it's multi-generational networks of
Right.
family.
Right.
Like they'll tell Mitt when he's in high school, what you want to do? He said, well, I want to be a lawyer. He said, well, Mitt, this is what we're going to do. You're going to go to this school. We're going to pay for it, or we're going to do this, whatever. And I'll get you hooked up for this law school. And then you'll go work for this law firm that my boy works for.
Yeah.
So his line, he's already,
Set up.
it's like, he just got to just walk a path like
Yeah.
he's bad.
That's how the Jewish people do it.
Yes.
That's
It's
how
like,
you do it.
we go to law school, be like, took the bar a couple times,
Right.
2 or 3 times, right? And then we'd be like, I need a job. I'm interviewing at law firms, and it's a whole nother, like, it's just that we still finding our way.
Yeah, we gotta find
in
it.
every industry, though.
And I stressed, and that's why I asked you about the whole mentor thing. That's why I stressed to anybody that I talk to who's trying to make it, like, you gotta have
Dog, I
somebody that's
wouldn't be
doing what
here.
you want to be. I wouldn't either. If I didn't have my mentor
You-
to say, hey, these are the mistakes I made, this is where I prospered from, I wouldn't
He
be
called
here.
it, my mentor would call it, he called it 30 year stuff. He said, because I'm telling you, because I'm 30, 40 years older than you, I'm telling you stuff I know.
Right.
Take heed, listen. And I did. Like he said, he got me into college, went to grad school, went to the top IT school in the world, man.
Wow.
Just because he was like, follow
Right.
this path. And I
Right.
listen and trust it. But yeah, mentorship, but a lot of us don't have guidance, man. We don't have a lot of things. When it comes to academics, like we're far behind, man. Like when it comes to the SAT, we like say we take it in 11th grade when whites and Asians take it and they start preparation in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
Like a lot of things that we're told is just like, who told us this stuff? Like, I don't know where
And
this
it all
come
goes
from.
back to family, and it could be that this generation now, I mean, they grew up with a parent who might have been on crack or been on some kind of drug and wasn't in the home. I mean, think how many people that you know that didn't have a 2-parent family, and that matters. It definitely matters.
Barack grew up in a single parent home.
He did.
That's what the black mother is saying. Like as she's like, you don't got no excuse. Well,
I don't need him.
yeah.
And that's another thing. I mean,
Get to it.
that's another thing. Do we?
Uh-oh.
I mean,
Cans of worms.
right. I mean, we're in a society now where the woman feels like she can do it by herself,
Yeah, and yep.
and
But that's the whole point of that part is to take the man out of the home,
Right.
especially the black man out of the home.
right. I don't need you.
Like that's
I'm just
That's-
gonna take that child support.
yeah.
I got family dealing with that now, going to jail, Ever so often.
taking your license away.
trying to pay for child
Can't
support.
leave the country.
Yeah. And that's systematic though, because I remember somewhere I was reading, they were saying back in the day they would come by your house and see if they saw like a man's shoes at the house or something
Yeah,
like that.
because
They wouldn't give you they wouldn't give
That's how they-
they wouldn't give you
the support.
the
yeah.
support from the government. So it's systematic, man. It's like if we could just break out the cycle.
And it's that's the thing is, and it comes back to, it's always that magical question: where do we go from here?
The next generation of kids. I think the kids that didn't get it. I'm not saying you give up on those kids, but I think it's almost like the crack epidemic took out a generation. And no matter how much, two. So no matter how much you tried to stop it, I mean, it was kind of like once you were hooked on crack. I mean, this is, once it stops your creation of dopamine, I mean, you're kind of gonna be hooked on something. Some people are blessed that somehow they pass that, but
and it's hard.
It's a gorilla.
You can't get off, man. It's hard to get off, man.
I've known people that
and you have to love them. And you say you got to learn to separate the addiction. All that TA teach you, but dog,
that's a gorilla.
That's
a gorilla. Like what is it when your body? Your body kills itself when you don't get it. You know what I mean? Man, that's a whole nother.
I can't understand that science, man.
It's a whole nother thing. So it's like, that person had to die, or if they didn't make it through. So I think these kids is wilding. These kids is just on that Chicago type of style. Yeah. It's like, man, I'm busting guns at 14 type of thing.
And we're not teaching it. Yeah,
might be done. And I don't. And that's like something in itself. Like. No, there's no way that people shape. When is the age that kids shape at? Like
7.
7.
Freud said the personality is shaped at 7. Man, that's early, ain't it?
A kid,
you who you are gonna be at 7, 8 years old.
A kid, 14 years old, gang member, busting a gun. There's some that's gonna make it. There's some that's gonna take what.
And they come back to tell the story.
There's
many that don't.
It's a lot that, like, yo, dog, you telling somebody that's going to a house where there's a hole in the roof. You going to somebody where they don't have lights. They mom out and about. You talking about households, and I'm from Baltimore. I'm from where, I kind of grew up in the middle of a situation because we had a neighborhood association. We had cookouts. We had all that stuff. And then the only thing I think was, like, we had an uncle that was hooked on crack. Somebody had an uncle or aunt that was hooked. When I go back to my old neighborhood now,
it's the whole
stuff that, like, there would never be a boarded up house in that.
Yeah.
You would never be able to get that. It's gone. Them old people are dead. And they kids that took over,
they ruthless.
They don't give a damn. They took their parents' house, ran it down to the ground.
And lost it. Really, they couldn't pay for. Couldn't even pay the taxes.
All he had to pay was the taxes.
All they had to pay the taxes.
All he had to pay was the taxes. The house is paid for. They paid the house. The house is like $20,000.
Yeah.
Back when they bought it. All you have to do is take you and your cousins, however many of y'all live in that house, and just pay $1,000 or $1,200 for the tax.
And that's what I mean, man. I like, one of my things is, like, as an artist, man, like, that's why I getting back to what we were talking about. This is where I lost a lot of respect for Jay-Z when he misunderstood the conversation between himself and Harry Belafonte.
Oh, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like, I therefore saw the manifestation of the ignorance of our generation. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, wow. It's like, it was that, just what he was talking about, that the civil rights movement versus where we are now, mindset.
Right.
Here's Harry Belafonte, who financed the education of our president's father.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
The first black artist to sell over 1 million records. We bring Dr. King to his office, his apartment, too, to plan the March on Washington, which we celebrate the 50-year anniversary of. What he was saying is that there's a social responsibility of artists. So whatever that we can do to uplift, we should, especially to a group of people that are so downtrodden.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So it was just like, so it's like, my thing is, as an artist, like, I want to make great music, not just because, I'm not even in it. I'm in it because I love it. I'm in it for the money. That's what's so crazy. Like, people think, like, if I want to make money in capitalism, I would have started an IT security firm. I got top secret security clearance. I would have been somewhere else, like, for money, if it was just about money. You know what I'm saying? But I'm in this thing because I want to make great music and I want to inspire. That's what it's supposed to do.
Right.
And also, like John Legend, I love people who do the humanitarian side of things. Like, I want to start what I call, like, COPE centers. I would tell my mother, I don't think I told Pat, it was like centers for professional excellence where people could come and get, help with resumes, GED training, computer training, AIDS awareness, tutoring for children. You know what I mean? Because right now, you can't just help the child. You got to help the whole household.
Right. And that in turn help the child in the long run.
You got to help everybody. Because
right.
you talk to the child, go home. I've been in houses because part of a program called the Baltimore Youth Alliance. I was the first student. That's what part of my mentor.
Okay.
And you go in a household and be like, the mother, you, oh, wow.
That's
You know,
part
you
of
be
the
like,
problem.
whoa.
Right.
You be like, yeah. You be like, oh, well, you know, and you have more compassion for the child. But what I'm saying is that we need more positivity wherever we can get it from, whether it's arts, whether it's like, you know what I'm saying, whether
Right.
it's just whatever people do in their life, though, we have to have more of it. So anybody that tells me it was just like, if we just say, oh, I'm just getting money, if we glorify the things that are ordinary, that do nothing for us,
Right.
that's not going to do anything for our progression.
Yeah.
And that's why I think when Jay-Z came across it, when he said, my presence is charity, that's it.
Right.
I said, and Harry Belafonte was like, he said, yo, you'll never understand.
Right.
That's sad, yo.
But you know what? I will say this, and I'm not condoning that at all. What I will say is this: Jay, if anything, he is a hustler. He was a hustler from the beginning. You know, I came into the game 100 grand. Like a hustler is a hustler. You know, his job.
Well, you know he wasn't a real hustler, right? That's a whole nother conversation.
You
You gotta go look. They say go to Marcy. They be like, yo, go ask him. I don't mean to put it out there, viewers. Go to Marcy right now. Go to Marcy Projects. Tell Manny go to Marcy. Tell Manny go to Marcy. It would be like, ask him about Jay. Now, what I'm saying is that it's him. See, what we gotta do is just accept the person.
Yeah, exactly.
Accept the person that's at that platform. That's just like Obama.
But that's how he got. You know what I mean?
Right, and that's right, and that's why they would allow someone like him to break, as opposed to someone else.
Yeah,
That's the
But you know what,
point.
Nas, he just
They say
helped
you can
somebody
go.
get their-
They say you can go because you're useless.
Right. I get. And that's
You're
what-
meaningless. You gotta understand. There's a higher. It's like this stuff is coordinated. This isn't like, I think sometimes we think it's just happenstance. Like
Right.
it'd be like, oh yeah, it's just like, oh yeah, this is just.
That's no. Nick said, "I will." And
No,
that's why I
but-
said the Chief came through the cracks, and you got your soldier boys
Yeah,
because that's what they
that's
want.
what-
Because those are the fathers
what-
for a lot of kids now. Because
And
they listen to the
it's
music.
sad that's what I'm saying is that like we it's like I don't know how we do it though, but yo, we gotta pull the plugs on a lot of this stuff if we want to help our people. Like even the things we can do, I know there's a lot of things on the grassroots level that we
Right.
could do, of course. But I'm saying if I'm gonna take a start, I'm pulling plugs at the top too. You know what I'm saying?
That's the
I'm
thing.
like, yo, like I gotta stop this poison. Like you
Right.
poisoning my kids. Like just like Pat, he's into healthy eating. Like you know what I'm saying? He's like, yo, he don't let his kids eat McDonald's every day.
Right.
You feel me? Like, why would you let your kids grow up on that? Like, everything is your environment, everything you are, everything you eat, everything you take in. Is a
aware. And that's the thing. We taking for granted the fact that, you know, when you're aware, it's almost like when you get out of the damn. I was trying to think of a movie where everything. Okay, we just use the Matrix.
The Matrix.
You
I
get
knew
out of
you
the
said-
Matrix, you like, wow, I'm on Nebuchadnezzar. Like this is what
I've
it
been
is.
screwed up.
If I come back and I tell Al like, yo, you know this ain't even real, he's gonna be like, yo, you're fucking crazy. What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying?
I got a flip side of that. My old guitar teacher, he's probably about like 60, 70 years old. He said, for our generation, for everybody, he said, it's one thing to take poison and not know that you're taking poison, but it's another thing when you know you're being poisoned and you still take it.
Yeah, right. That's
You know.
crazy. That's
So,
crazy.
but it's true though. It's true.
Yeah, like
You
you know
know?
what I'm saying? Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you're ignorant, you like, you know what I mean? You chilling. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know.
And
But
it's
but
easy.
also when you do this, and also the downside of that is the more you learn, like you said, the more aware you become, it can make you a little down and depressed too.
Yeah.
You have to be careful of that because when you realize how bad you've been robbed, it takes something out of you to even grow from that point. You know what I'm saying? So, cause it can do your number on you. Be like, dang, yo, this was like, cause that happened to me like in Southern. Like when I used to be like, I used to look out the window, little things like Mr. Dean came from my mentor. I used to go in the library and we ain't have hardly no books in the library.
Yeah.
It used to be like, classical, the inner city zone schools. You'd be like, but I didn't think nothing of it at the time. I didn't think of nothing of it that I didn't write any English papers.
Yeah.
I didn't think anything of the fact that when I got to Morgan, I didn't even know what a thesis statement was.
You didn't know.
I didn't think nothing of it.
Didn't know.
But when I learned about it, I said, yo, I've been wrong.
Yeah.
And not even that, but a lot of these dudes, we was all smart. We just didn't know, yo. I was like,
Didn't know.
I said that's wrong, yo. That's not right.
When they say knowledge is power, it really is power. Like the fact that, you know, when you don't know, you know, these kids that be like yelling on people, or you know, you at the gas station and, yo, Ahmed, yo, Habibi, yo, get the this, that, and the third. It's all disrespectful. And you sitting there like, you know what? He doesn't know. He don't even know how crazy he look. Like unless you take a camera and you was to show him how crazy he look, he doesn't think. And you got his boys that's feeding into it, like, that's really funny, da 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 da. Or the kid that's in class like, man, fuck you, teacher, da 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 da. He's just trying to teach you whatever. Yo, man, fuck that. I don't give a fuck about this, da 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 da. But he thinks at that point in his mind, he thinks that's cool. So when you come to him and you try to teach him something, one, he's got to be open. And that's why I say a lot of that generation is gone, because he's not even thinking, like, he's looking at it like, yo, son, if these cats is getting money and I see money, I see shoes, I see car, I see this, I see tangible stuff. Don't tell me about 10, 15 years down the line. People where I'm from don't even live that long. So it's like, man, I'm not thinking. Tell me now, if you take me into a room right now and I'm living the way I want to live, then I'll take it. But if you tell me I could do all this stuff and whatever, like nobody from where I come from make it unless you playing ball or football, whatever. So your aware is so powerful in the sense that most people just don't. That people from that, they feel like they can't even wrap their head around it being possible.
But if you look at like the same thing we were talking about earlier, when like what are my surroundings? What do I see? Who has cars and chains and all that stuff? It's the drug dealers and all that stuff. But if you're a white guy growing up, who has cars and big homes and houses? My father, my mother. I don't even have a father and mother in my house.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing. It's just like, okay, yeah, I think I'm gonna do that. You know, and it's like both of them, the white kid and the black kid, they look at what's around them and then they choose. You know, and it's easy for me to choose my dad that owns the business and has the car. It's easy to say, he said, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. It's easy to listen to your dad say that when you go get money that way. A lot more money, like, yeah, Jay-Z came in 100,000, 100 grand strong. Okay, my father owns a $22 million racetrack. I know the kid that owned Pimlico. I know his parents own that. And he's like 13 years old, plays guitar, gymnastics. And it was just like, okay, he has somebody to look up. Like, it's his father. Yeah. My father's a doorman. I love him. But he's a doorman, you know, and it's easier if I did go sell drugs, it would have been easy for me to look outside, because I lived in the hood. For me to look outside and see who had the car. It was the white guy driving through, and then it was a drug dealer right behind him. My dad didn't have that.
Everybody wants to live good. I mean, and it shouldn't be the things that you praise, but everybody wants. There's a feeling that you feel when you got nice clothes. There's a feeling that you feel when you riding and you feel like, man, people are looking at me and I'm like, I'm the man. That Mitch type of talk. You know what I mean? That like when I walk and the lights is on me, man, I love that. I love the game. You know what I'm saying? It's something about it. It's real. It's a real thing happening.
But that's capitalism versus communism, really. Because like if you go to China and everybody's riding a bike to work, nobody feels better than the next person because I got a car and you got a bike. Nobody feels better. And that's what I think is like now, like when I think about the music industry, I feel like it is kind of leveling out because it's almost like everybody can kind of get money now. You might not see the person like like people that's going across or Black Milk, like Black Milk is killing getting money, but if the person listening to this podcast do not know who Black Milk is, and
they don't have to.
Yeah,
that's the thing I would tell like artists all the time. Everybody don't have to know you for you to win. You know, there are people who don't know about Tech Nine. Search Tech Nine. Tech Nine got a touring thing. He came to Baltimore. He didn't even buy no spots at 92Q or nothing like that. He had a full sold out show. He tweet, I'm at the Fillmore. They come, and voila, he done took a bag home. You don't have to be on Meek Mill on the radio 24/7 to win as an artist. These days, you tweet where you at. They got joints where you can go, my location is here. You can sell the tickets through your website. You don't need nobody to
And
do
you got
nothing,
more people
you know what I'm
like
saying?
you got more people that's like, you know.
There's applause that happens.
But that's what I'm saying. Like that's like somebody that's gonna make the music because they like to make music. Forget getting money. Like they're gonna get their money, but I mean they making music because they like to make music. So they don't have to conform to whatever the label's telling them to do and all that kind of stuff. That's why I think we leveling out at.
Well, that's why I think we need the role models to be what they are in the music, because that's our art and people look up to that. I mean, like I said, Jay-Z is thousands, if not millions, of black people's fathers because they don't have a father. That's who they look up to. Like for me, and probably for other people here in the room, I mean, I knew I was going to college. I had no choice because I had a family structure that my grandma, it's like, look, there's no option. You got to go to college. Wherever you go, you're going. Some people don't have that option. So I see how some people can be like, oh, I'm going to sell drugs. I'm going to do bad in school because I know I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going to college, And it's only going to get worse because now college is almost like getting a high school diploma, unfortunately, And, yeah, I mean, and I think to your point about the whole feeling good about the money thing, I mean, I don't think everybody's like that. I can only speak for myself. I've never been like a money grubbing person like that. I just want to be comfortable at the end of the day. But maybe 16-year-old Al might have been like, I want to make a lot of money. But maybe now that I'm 30 years old, I'm like, I'm a different person. But
not to say that you ever was that person, but it's like now you're more aware of those things. Don't like as you get older, you just wanna feel comfortable. You don't want a lot of stress. You want to be able to pay your bills. You want to be able to take a vacation. You don't really want to have a lot of troubles coming your way. You know what I mean? But when you 16, I know when I was 16, and I'm watching these things happen around me. Of course, I had a family structure where I knew, and I had people that I knew for a fact. I saw, people going through things like jail or people shooting and stuff. It made me go, I don't really, that's not something that I'm into, right? And maybe some of that's my personality, right? Maybe as a person, I'm so chill that that's not something that I'm into. But I knew people that was wild before they even saw that. You know what I'm saying? They was a wild boy before they even saw it. They was jumping off of stuff, hitting stuff, slamming stuff before that even came into play. So he a wild boy from the jump. Then we talking about minus the drugs and stuff, right? So
that was like symptoms. The drugs in it was just symptomatic.
So when you put that kid in that situation,
right.
they like, I might look at it and be like, nah, I'm good. I ain't trying to have all that trouble. That kid like, all right, let's go. Let's do it. I'm already wild, so let's do it. And you ain't had that wild kid go and be able to like, maybe we can take that wildness and put it into tennis. Yeah. Maybe take that wildness and put it into like mountain climbing or something like that. Going back to the guy that you talking about, he taking gymnastics, he taking whatever. I think if you took that white kid and you grew him up into that system, he may be the drug dealer because he don't have somebody around him saying, I mean, kids are simple. Kids are simple beings. I see this. I like that. I want to have that. If you see a positive, going back to mentors and role models, it's simple. I see somebody that's where I want to be, and it's a positive thing. And I am exposed to something positive, and I'm not exposed to nothing negative. That makes me want to go positive. If I'm exposed to somebody that's negative, and I don't really have some of the moral stuff still hasn't been solidified exactly young, I might look at that as I could make a reason why that would be cool. I could say, well, you know what? I don't have anything. I don't see that possibility. So I think it is a system. I think the black person is put from the jump already behind in school, like you talking about. You already in the neighborhood where it's promoted to do the wrong thing, and then you got cops that's slash Klan members waiting for you to make a mistake. Once you become a felon, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
It's a wrap. There ain't no like kind of sort of. I know people that cannot. I work for the government. I know people that, yo, can you get me in? I'm like, yo, son, do you have a record? Yeah. I'm like, yo, dog, they gonna X you out from the jump. What can you do? What can you do? Like, how can you get even past the fact you made a mistake?
And it's a double standard too. I know white boys just got records.
And they able to.
Working this job.
Wow. Yeah, but the
I
thing
know
about that even goes back to like, okay, this is what some people have a problem with Obama, but just on the total, my son being able to look up and say, oh, there's a black guy that can run the country. Like, cause when I look at like other people, like when I was growing up, I was very gullible, weird, stupid child, and I looked around like, okay, what do my people do, and what do they do?
Right.
And they were all of our bosses, and my dad was this, and my mom and my family, and everybody that I looked at. Okay, well, what do they do? You know, and that's what I thought I could be.
Yeah. Right.
And it's a mental thing, just like what's a movie? The Truman Show.
Right.
The guy says you accept the reality that's given to you. You accept the environment that's given
reality.
to you. So it's just like when you do that, when everything that you see, and you look at yourself, and you kind of conform to what's going on. It's like sheep. Like you follow the herd, you know. And if you're white, you're gonna follow a different herd. You know, it's not gonna be the same. You're not gonna go where all the black sheep go. You're gonna go where all the white sheep go. Right. So if you can if somehow you can break that, which is a hard thing to do. That's the hardest thing to do, to say to look up, because your parents do that too. They be like, vote Democrat. Why? What's a Democrat? No, we just do that. We vote Democrat. So it won't matter what views are. It won't matter about thinking. It won't matter about any of that.
Right.
We just vote Democrat. That's just what we do.
Against your own wishes, against your own personal interests.
That brings up an interesting point. I thought of a lot of thoughts as we were sitting here. But you know what? Just thinking about the community, I won't go off on too many stories, but how do you guys feel? I'll say it in the form of a question. The role that the black church had.
You on the same wavelength as me.
Yeah, the black church had in our. When we get back to what you were talking about, because the black church was a place that we went. That was our sanctuary on a number of levels.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, it was everything to us.
I can answer that for
like,
you.
how do you feel the difference between like once upon a time,
right,
and now, like, you know?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it depends on where. It depends on where I went to. Man, my church was small. Like when I say like 40 members, but what I can take from that is that all of us were family. I can go to Miss Johnson's house. May she rest in peace. She just died Wednesday. Oh, wow. I can go to Miss Johnson. It was my godmother. She died Sunday, but her memorial was today. I could go to her house anytime I wanted to. Public speaking, we always had to speak in front of the church. I didn't get that from school. I got that from my church. I got a lot of my personality I got from my pastor, Pastor Parson. My musical ability, my mom was choir director.
Wow.
I got me always being early to everything came from my mom, because she had choir rehearsal and she was always early to choir rehearsal. So these things that you was right, I was soaking it all in at church, and now it's gotten to the point where people are now trying to strike down churches as being, you know, a bad thing for society, or, you know, but for the black community, the church is almost like the hub, you know, and when you get to these mega churches and things, there probably some great things about mega churches, but if it's all about the money, you know, it kind of almost goes against the Bible, because even the Bible says it's easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than a rich man to get into heaven. But the whole civil rights thing started in the churches. So I mean, it's like, where has the church failed us as a people? But then you got to think about it. The church actually is the people. So,
That's going back to the whole family thing.
right. It's all about the family.
That last statement was a little heavy there.
Yeah,
brother.
the church is the people. So,
I kind of messed. I had to think about that one.
yeah. So I mean, you know, it's not the building, it's the people. Right. You know what I'm saying? So, it's. I think the churches need to step up, but the people need to step. We don't have any black leaders now. Like, who are our black leaders?
Al Sharpton. Talking about.
Oh, forgot.
Talking
There is
about-
Al Sharpton. But they trying to. Even if it was Al Sharpton, they trying to shoot down Al Sharpton.
They got
every
Jesse
5 minutes.
Jackson still.
They trying to shoot him down.
Well,
too,
they
if that's
shot
the
down
case.
his son, but I mean.
Yeah, definitely.
But,
He going away for a minute.
But what I think, I think the black church is too decentralized, man. I think, as you say, to be a hub implies centralization.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I think about like in Baltimore, like I had like my mind, I come up with these little crazy ideas. Like I imagine if it's like how many churches are there in Baltimore City alone? I can't even. I would have to pull out a chart, a geographic map, and pull files and count.
Every corner in the hood. Every
I can't-
corner.
I want to say 300, but then I don't want to. I can say 500. Because 100. but
Yeah.
But
every other block, like corner,
Yeah.
liquor store,
Yeah.
beauty shop, church. Liquor store, beauty shop, church, funeral home.
Right.
Funeral home. I mean, it's like
You
chicken
stab them,
spot.
we grab them.
fish
yeah,
and
man.
trout. Lake trout
That's
and
crazy.
chicken.
I just think that
Chinese store.
if the black church centralized more, just say like even in Baltimore City, one city alone, if they had if all the pastors just started up together, came together, had their own convention, started to bring their churches like together to like even to like have like agendas about what's going on within the city, take a list of issues, and start to pull their resources together. You understand what I mean? And let's talk about we can talk about drugs, we can talk about homelessness, we can talk about crime. I mean, we have boatload of issues, the dilapidated homes and stuff like that. But the issues and then how we can work toward resolving them. But I think the black church has really just stepped away. I think that through their decentralization and their selfishness, really, it stepped away from the true responsibilities of the church. I mean, from the
Don't
community.
take my members. Don't you take my members.
It's,
You lose money when you come together. You come together and you
Don't
try
take my
to
members.
bring everybody. So my members are gonna go over to your church, and they're not gonna put nothing in my collection plate. What
I
the
mean,
fuck?
I'm not.
Let's preach. Let's get real.
And not to get on anybody in the city, but there's a pastor. When I first came to Baltimore, it was about a couple years ago. I went to his website, huge church. Went to his website. You go on the website. He's driving a Bentley.
yeah.
Driving a Bentley.
Don't say no names.
Right. He driving. I'm not gonna put him out there like
West
that.
Side.
But everybody in this room pretty much knows what I'm talking about.
It's the best side.
Right. Oh,
I do a gang dance. If you just let me do a gang dance.
but
I got an ATM in the back of the church.
Yeah, I mean,
just in case.
and the thing about that is too. I mean, with him, he's gotten several situations, but a lot of people that, yeah, you do.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Hey, yo, the offering plate had a swipe machine.
I'm telling you, it's
You're gonna be
But-
in the next Jay-Z video
but
with his Bentley.
Number one actual Visa, MasterCard.
but if you go to this church, you see a lot of people looking for a certain message. But with him being at the head of that and saying, "Hey, you can get all the money you want. Say, forget your neighbor," and you know what I'm saying. You know, God got a plan for you.
It's all about the odd man, and the church has pushed so much of the odd message, man. It's lost so much of that way. That's what I'm saying is that what I don't understand is the concept of how churches grow and communities die. To me, like that disparity is just growing though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and so I'm just saying is that like as a start, I was just like, people like, what can we do? I'm just like, but what have we done? We got to look back in time. What did we do?
Yeah, we got
Man,
this
it's the
far.
black church that delivered. Like we,
You're right.
if we don't have like the the resources of the black church pulling,
Right.
like the black churches alone in any city could change that city
Yeah. And just
if they pulled their resources together.
and
I'm
just
talking
think
about, irregardless of who's in office, the politics and all that, man. Like, yo, for real, like, come on. Like,
that's the
really.
core. I think that's. I don't think about it, that's like the core. And just think about, you know, even all these musicians we got that came out of the black church. I know a dude play probably even you play 3 or 4 instruments, learned in church. Like it's just nothing. You know what I'm saying?
I know Fantasia keyboard player. I know a whole bunch of other people's drummers and bass players and all, everybody out the church.
Yeah, out of the church. You know, and that's the you know, as much as they're trying to take church away now, I mean that's the key. You know, like atheists are on the move.
Yeah.
Like that whole
Because it's money. I think money, man. What they call it, mammon, whatever.
mammon, right.
Mammon has just, it's money, man. It's all about money, man. Everybody's
hustle.
talking money. The church, the job, our friends, you know, like everything is just, I think that whole equation, profit over people, is just overtaken. It's not people over profit no more, man. It's like, it's crazy. Because I'm just thinking, because the problems in our community are just too large for any one grassroots organization to do.
Right.
It's too complex for any high model from Washington to even understand. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, so
But we got to do it ourselves, though.
right. So it
That's
has
the
to
thing.
be, but ourselves is a pool though. It's a pool of resources that has to come together.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like I can't say my
of
then
crap.
then
I
they'll be
agree.
like they say my church got a homeless ministry. Oh my God, they think I'm talking about them. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if y'all 300 churches had a homeless,
I guarantee you can build that building. Look, listen. Y'all can build that building. Y'all build
Take
a lot
away,
of buildings.
yeah. Just take away from one of your other buildings and just convert it into something else. You know.
Take a city church building fund, ladies and gentlemen.
Y'all
City
can
church
build
building.
that building, and it was a lady at my job. She's a minister, and she was talking about, man, black churches sit on some money, man. They'll be sitting on some money, and then when they go make they move, they expand in the building. And I mean, I understand, obviously, maybe if your members get to a certain point, you have to expand. But I just think I agree totally with the fact that the small church is just like anything else. If you got a small group, then everybody knows everybody's first name. Everybody knows what's going on with that person. There's no way that one man can have 1,000 people in a church and he really knows each and every person.
True.
And I think that the mega church, that math, the reason why it's not a good math is because it's not personable. It's not personal. It's not a personal. He's talking about his church where he knew every person. And, you coming here for, some spiritual healing. So it's like, hey, I'm trying to get myself in a good spiritual place. Where can I go and get that and have a personal relation? I can call my pastor and he knows me and I know him and we can talk about whatever and he can be my therapist for free. You know what I'm saying? So I think that, like you said, for the same amount of churches that you have bad food, you have liquor, you have everything, funeral homes and everything else to it is literally
everything is it's like I said, is a business. What I'm saying is that, but if the saving of our community or just helping our community is like coming from people who are just totally business minded, then never mind. Like, there's no point of us even having conversation about, like, we say, oh man, but what's Barack gonna do? Or we're gonna be like, oh man, Jay-Z should make a positive song and Jay-Z and Beyonce should make a positive song. Like, it don't make no difference because like what's facing us in these communities, these problems is serious, they're large. My thing is, like, I don't have a problem with the mega churches and stuff like that. They can do that. I'm at a point in my life, it's like, yo, we gotta touch the communities though.
Yeah.
What I'm saying
Physically.
is that, like, we need to get out there. What I'm saying is that we need to have information and data just like the state government got within our own state. Like them, you know what I'm saying? We should have files of the people in the communities and who they are, so they can, like, a lot of these guys on the corner, man, like, you can have an initiative where I think I'm going to talk about doing this with some guys, where we just go out like on a Saturday and we'll go out in our cars or vans, like 10, 15 passenger vans and just go out to like street corners and just go out there and talk to the guys. Crazy, just roll up on them and be like, yo, man, what's, you know what I'm saying? Like, just talk to them. Like, you know what I mean? It's like there's just no interaction, and do this on a consistent basis. Like, yo, because I know a lot of these guys, man, it's the lack of love, man. Like, I grew up in foster care and group homes. Like, honestly, man, like,
everybody want love.
It's just like these guys ain't had nobody to be like, yo, let me talk to you. I already know how this movie gonna end for you. I can tell you right now. But I say I ain't no D, I ain't no cop, I ain't nothing like these guys. What I'm saying, but we don't have. If the church just had just resources and ideas, yo, it would be crazy.
And you talking about people that when they said, yo, I think I could be a doctor. You ain't gonna be no daggone doctor. You ain't gonna be no, you know what I mean? You ain't gonna be this, that, and the third. You know how many people were told before they even had an idea that of trying it, yo, it's not possible, it's not possible, it's not possible. So I think, and they speaking about themselves when they talking to them. They not speaking about you specifically. When they say you can't start that business, they not talking really to you. They talking to themselves. Right. They're talking about what they can do.
See, that's just,
and they saying what, you know what I'm saying? So it's like when you get a person that I'm 50, and I haven't gotten anything I ever wanted in my life, and
stay away from them.
Kid coming up,
listeners, stay away from them.
Like, I know kids I heard in the barbershop when the kids saying all these things, and went, man, sit your ass down. You can't do that. You know, just go to school and figure some stuff out. You can't do. I know people that didn't do what they really wanted to do with their lives and are 30, and like when they go to the bar, you know they going to the bar because they realize, like, damn, like, how long did I live under that umbrella of what my people told me what I couldn't do? Like, it's one thing, and you know, you only got one life.
That hurts, yo.
You only got one life, so when you think about it, if you're 30 and you just realize, like, people, because look, that kid that thought, look, it's all in your mind. That kid that could have been Ben Carson, it really is like when someone told him that he couldn't do it. You know what I mean? Because a kid, when we're going back to a simple person, yo, a kid can be whatever you tell him. Like, yo, you're the best. Yep. You're always
self-fulfilling prophecy,
you're gonna be the man. I can see you're gonna be the man. All their life they told him they could be the man. Then when they get 18, why would he not be the man? Why would he not live his life as the man? Yeah. He was told from the jump he was the man. If you tell a kid, yo, you ain't shit, your father ain't shit, you ain't gonna be shit, you ain't never gonna be shit. Yo, that guy's robbing
boys
people
in the
right
hood.
now. And if you put him in jail, he don't care about losing freedom. He don't care about.
That's what Elijah Muhammad said. The worst thing in the world is a man with nothing to lose, yo.
Worse. Because he don't
have nothing to lose.
What do you think? Oh, I'm gonna arrest you. Oh, I'm
really?
gonna shoot at you. But he's living dead from the jump. So I think the church used to be about hope. Yeah. And when you get into this thing where you getting Bentleys and stuff, you're losing your job is to give hope. Yeah. And when your job is that kid that's not getting at home, you supposed to be on that podium telling him he could be the person. It may work, may not work, but at least he knows this guy, the spiritual leader, the person is supposed to be connected to God, is telling me I could be the man. That might be the difference.
Man, I think the church has given up. I think they've just lost their way. I think now we're just kind of just plateauing and just hopefully it finds its way, which is fine. I think it just every time in history has its point, but it'll reach another upswing. But not to add to that point, it's kind of interesting. I remember my mentor said something to me. He said, "Man, most of the kids in the cities and stuff like that ain't a part of gangs. Most of the kids, women ain't getting pregnant. The young teens, like crimes and stuff like that. That's a small. This is a very interesting point. He opened my eyes to this. He said, and I realized, he said, man, that's a small percentage. He said most of the kids. And as I'm getting back kind of adding to your points, most of the kids that we fail are the ones that actually want to do something. Yeah. And that's the tragedy. He said, Champ, like, you almost didn't go to college. He started naming kids. He said, Champ, it ain't, he said something like, some of them kids, they going to fall by the wayside. They're like, you guy you said was wild anyway. Yo, he's like, he going to be, like, on Lean on Me. What Joe Clark, whatever, said on Lean on Me. He said, what you do? I'll put them bastards out. No, what I'm saying? Because he said it wasn't no use. He put them out. He put them out, and he focused on the kids. And when you looked at the Eastside High, it was the auditorium was full.
Yep.
After he cleared the stage. So that's still a representation of our generation and even kids. It's like the thing is, he said to me, he said something interesting. He said our kids don't fail us, we fail them. So he said, so really, it wasn't those kids that were the problem. It was the kids that got up every day and went to Southern High School that got failed. They got up every day, caught the bus, got their bus tickets, got their lunch tickets, got their butter crunch cookies, and chocolate milk, because the lunch was always nasty. And depending on the tater tots, when they was cooked,
I don't know what they're talking about. I didn't go through that crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man, the real.
But those are the kids, man. It's sad that don't get the guidance. They're the ones that are trying though. So those are the ones we losing out on, man.
Yeah, it's a crew.
Yeah.
It's a crew of them. It's like that kid that I knew that was wild. I'm not saying I already kind of thought that was where it was going to go, but it was like,
Yes, you are.
he's a good. His heart was in the right place, but he needed to be caught early.
Right.
He wasn't one of them kids that you could just be like, he's going through a phase. He was the type of kid. Early, you had to say, "Yo, no." You know what I'm saying? You had to be like, "No, catch him early." Some kids can go through a phase and you can get them out, but he was one of them kids. And I'm saying, like, it's 30 of them kids in the hood, and they all are the same kids. It's not everybody.
And y'all know who they are. Like it's not like
knew
it's
from
not a
the
secret.
jump.
It's not a secret.
Yeah, but those kids are the ones that, like you said, you ain't shit, you ain't never gonna be shit, blah blah blah. You know, and that they've really been told, because I watched kids from birth be told shit like that.
Yeah.
That's the one. And then they weren't watched at home. They jumping off stuff. Ain't nobody telling them not to jump off stuff.
Yeah.
That's the
It
thing.
starts early.
Like, they doing, and then when they get to school, like, you know, like I knew a bunch of kids, and I was one of the kids. I didn't know anything. I didn't start to learn stuff until really like college, like care and pay attention and really try.
Yeah.
I was very spaced out, but that kid, you know, like nobody was saying anything to it, and all he cared about was basketball. You know, all he cared about, you know, was having fun. And how did he get to have fun? Like you said, looking at the older kid with the Bentley and all that stuff. Okay, well, I want to smoke too. You know, they go up the street and that's what's going on. So that's how I think is like it starts with the parents, and then you have parents that don't teach their kids. Like, you know, Love Baby Boomers, they did a whole lot of stuff. They did a lot of great stuff. But like he said, they said, hey, we've made it. You guys don't have to just go to school now.
Yeah.
You know,
Go to school,
we
go to
tired.
college, get a
I don't
job.
got to teach you nothing else. You know, the ones that did teach them, yeah, they went somewhere. They did something. But the ones that, you know, you got the crackhead on or whatever, and that's your guardian.
Or your grandma.
And, you know, you got your grandma. She tired and sleep,
She
you know.
tired. Don't even keep up with
But
you.
the parents that don't teach their kids anything and then just expect and then send them to public school, tell them go outside, you know, all that kind of stuff, and then they get to high school and then they have the chance to go to college maybe. You know, if you don't have the mentor, which should have been your parents in the beginning, then yeah, you're gonna fall off. It's easy to fall off. That's the easiest thing to do. Quit. Easiest thing to do is just to take the easy way out. Fall off.
That kid that was wild, us growing up, we had a lot of them. His mom let him do whatever.
Yeah.
Like when we used to go to drink, we would drink over his house. I mean, that was where we would go to like hang. Like we would drink in the basement. She was cool with it. He was smashing girls in his house. I mean, it was early in the game. He was always able to do what he wanted to do. So it's like it wasn't like when he started going out there doing all that wild stuff and robbing people and stuff like. It was like you couldn't really be surprised. It was kind of like, oh, okay, that kind of what
like, oh,
you know.
makes sense.
His moms was surprised, but
Like that is the next step in your life. That is.
yeah, I think his mom thought, yo, I'm not going, you know, her parents ain't let her do whatever she wanted to do. It was just natural that she was like, you a kid. He was adult. He was treated as an adult way before he was ready to be an adult. I mean, it was like, When we had to come in the house, he was able to just stay outside. He could just do whatever he want, and that's how he started getting into so much shit. Because it was like when we had to come in because our parents knew, if you out 1 o'clock at night at 14,
ain't nothing open that late, but
legs.
All right, well we got 20 minutes left. We've had teen summit. We've had teen summit.
Thank you very much, man.
Like
we try. We try.
All right, so we going on like 3 hours now. Actually,
the conversation.
So normally these are like 2 hours, hour and a half. These are 3 hours now. So I had some things I want to talk to you about. Being that you are a father. I don't know if you want that put out there. Is that cool? All right, you are a father. Talk about that, man. Fatherhood and trying to struggle that. I mean, balance that and also do the music thing. How was that?
Oh man, my son is awesome, man.
How old is your son?
He's 2.5, and yep, he's a junior.
Okay.
And man, he is he's a daddy's boy.
Nice.
There's like a mama's boy. There's like, where's daddy? Daddy.
Right.
It's like he'll come to me over his mother. You know what I mean? We'll spend all day together, 2-3 days, a whole week. I take him to his mother's house and he don't want to stay. I'm feeling what I'm saying? Like, so that's like, and that's different for me because I never had anybody be that attached to me. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, I'm like, dang, I think that God has his way of balancing life out. But man, it's been a joy, man. Like, I'm glad that he's growing and will grow up so normal. Like, I want normality because my life is so kind of abnormal.
Moving around a lot and all
Yeah, foster care, group homes and stuff, and
Right.
a lot of stuff, man. And it leaves impressions on you, so. But at the same time, like, I'm not going to be like an overbearing father. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I've done a lot, even college and pushing. And my father was valedictorian, and he was with the top company. Now he did a career in music, sang Temptations, and made out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
I look forward to us like being friends. But yeah, of course, I'm gonna be his father. But I don't think he's gonna realize this until he gets older. Is that I'm probably gonna learn more from him than he'll learn from me.
Yeah, that's real.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I think he'll take him to get older to to realize that though.
Right.
He's gonna, cause I bond. I'm gonna learn so much from it. Like, wow,
Right.
So.
Was it something that you felt? Was it something that you felt you was? One, was it planned, and two, did you feel like you was ready for it, or was something that happened and you like met it at that point?
It wasn't planned. Let me just say that. No, it was not planned. But it was. I was a little nervous at first when his mother was pregnant. I was like, oh man. I said, oh man, like, oh, whew. I said, I don't know what I'm gonna do. And then of course, the thing comes in your mind, like Jay-Z talks about, like, if you didn't have your father around and you want to be a good father, you start going through these Alice in Wonderland changes. You're like, will I be a good father? Like, what I mean? And will I, But I think even questioning that is a step in the right direction.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So that means you're even thinking about it. So
Right,
that
it's
means
on
your
your
mind
brain.
is preparing.
Right.
So like, man, we tighter than tight can get, man.
So how's
Like,
the relationship with his mother? Does that work out or is
yeah,
that?
it's a good relationship. Like we're like very good friends. We dated like for years. The only thing is that, I didn't want to like rush into a marriage thing. I was married before.
Oh.
Yeah. Once I got out of gets juicy.
Now
gets
we
real.
like 20 minutes left. We get like
It gets juicy.
How old were you when you got married?
I was 22 and a half, 23.
Okay, I'm gonna loop that back around.
Yeah.
Keep going. What were you
Yeah,
saying?
yeah. I like, man, and that marriage lasted a year. It just didn't work.
Right.
And yes,
Well, did it?
when you get married, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about this. When you get married, like the guy was true. When he told me this, marry your friend. Listeners, if you hear me, marry your friend, yo.
Right.
Yes, yo. Y'all have to be. Friendship has to serve as the foundation of any relationship. Period. That's just sidebar. Whether it's your mother, your father, whatever, y'all gotta be. Y'all ain't friends and y'all lacking, but your wife or husband has to be your friend, yo. Cause y'all ain't friends, y'all gonna have all of it.
Friends with similar interests or
Friends though, just friends. Friends. See, friends is shit where there's love, true love, where your happiness matters is just as much or more than mine. You know what I'm saying? It's not just about me. It's not like, even in a relationship, it's like, as long as I'm happy, the relationship is good. No. I want to make sure, like, yo, she got to be like, Mitt, like, hold up, Mitt, are you okay? Like, she's making sure, like, you know what I'm saying? You like, dang, I'm fine. Like, I'm good. I told you I'm fine. Like, she get on your nerves, make sure you good, man.
She really, really cares.
Yeah, but you make sure you're friends, but, we didn't have that.
Gotcha.
It's like, you know what I'm saying is though, like, like, Sada Shakur said, they asked her about love. She said, I know about what love isn't, more about what it is.
Right.
So
Right.
when you know more about what something isn't, you can talk about what your fantasy of what it should be. You know what I'm saying? So, but nah,
That first
So-
year's always tough, man. At least for me. My first year was tough. Yeah. But it might not be for everybody. But first year was really tough.
woo! Al, I got my leather couch over here, Al. You want to Al,
It was a
I
Thursday.
charge about an hour though,
Right.
Al. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that first year. Right.
No, but so that's why, like, the thing is, had I not gotten married the first time, she would have got pregnant with my son. I think I'd have been like, oh man, let's do it. But that kind of made me like, hold up. I don't want to just get married because we have a son. We have to make sure we're tight.
Right.
We don't just want to just jump into something and be like, and 18 years later, I'm like, and we go look at, like Morgan Freeman said in the movie. So it was, which movie y'all saw with Jack Nicholson, Bucket List?
Mhm.
And he said after these years went by and the kids left and they looked at each other and wondered who the fuck they were. Like, who are you? Looked at his wife, like he didn't know, because the sound of the kids drowned out their
Right.
marriage.
Right. Yes, that's deep.
That's heavy, man.
That's deep.
I was
That's deep. Very deep.
So I said, so that's why I'm chilling, but we're cordial. And, I'm really open with her, like, and she knows I'm embarking further and further along in career. She's really supportive of it. Like, she's like, go ahead on, do it and da-da-da-da. So, and I'm with you. So we're good, though. So where it may lead, I don't know. Right now, I just want to get this career really off and going.
Yeah.
And then I can start to, really, because the thing is, ain't nothing worse in the world than a frustrated musician. I mean, frustrated a lot of things, but a frustrated musician, you don't want that. You don't want that in your life.
So, with you being married so young, that have anything to do with you being a PK or?
What you saying to PK, brother? What
I'm
you trying to
just
say? Because you know what they
saying.
say about PKs.
What do they say about PKs?
They say about PKs. You want to know?
I want to know.
Are you a PK?
I'm not.
Okay. Well,
I'm
they
not a
say,
PK. For those who don't know what a PK
what a
is,
PK,
please
they
tell
say,
them what
they said,
you are.
they
PK.
say teachers' kids is always smart for nothing. Doctors' kids is always sick for nothing.
Okay.
And preachers' kids is always good for nothing.
Is that true?
I'm an old man,
Is
brother.
that true?
I got all the sayings.
it can't be true because accomplished man. This guy.
Woo!
So I mean, and what is the pressure of being a PK?
Well, the thing is, I didn't really grow up with my father that much. My mother divorced him kind of early.
Oh, okay.
But so I never really felt too much, of that.
Right.
But I'll tell you one thing, like, I was around like scripture and word. My father, like, he has a master's of divinity, and he reads Greek and Hebrew fluently. Like, he's like well versed in eschatology, and stuff like that. So he's heavy into. It's a study of future events, in which a lot of stuff he was telling me that's a whole nother story. He thought blowing my mind. I got the grad school. I'm like, how did you know this was written? Whew, never mind. Next segment. I never felt the pressure, but other than the fact that it's a part of me that like wants to uplift though. I don't know if that's the little preacher in me, being around even young. Mother was pregnant with me and she heard him in school going over lessons and stuff. Like, I believe more in light than darkness. I think in the end, we should gravitate toward the light. So I think there's enough darkness out here, and I think it's easy for people to gravitate because it's right there in front of you, So but the light is kind of harder to move to. That's why they say in the Bible, was they say, broad is the way, what is that, leadeth unto destruction.
Yeah.
But narrow is the way that leadeth unto light.
Yeah,
And few be
broad.
that find it. So it's a lot of truth in that. It's easy to be nothing, you know. So that's why I say it's a part of me. Even through music, I want to, like, you'll never hear me make a record of, you won't. I'm just saying, I say it on record, like some just crazy, raunchy, just for no reason, you know, type lyrics, which is easy to do. I'm just saying, I've had deal offers before to do nothing. You know, when I say nothing, I mean like music that I wouldn't even want to listen to after I recorded it. But so yeah, so it's more of a, I think it's going back to one's nature. No matter where you come from, I just think that was just my nature. Even coming up the way I come up, it made sense to me. It's like, why would you want to sell? We would sell drugs and stuff. And I was like, hold up. I said, the cops drop off the drugs, brother. We just said we stopped one day. I was like, yo, look. When you start to get an understanding and stuff,
guns.
you be like, oh, you like, hold up, man. Then they come back 30 days later.
Yeah.
To lock a few of us up.
Yeah.
Hold up, man. No.
It's
No.
definitely-
When you say, yo, shut up.
Yeah.
All the way around.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So I think some of that's just been my nature, you know what I'm saying, to kind of look on high. So no pressure, man. I actually take it as a responsibility, though. You know, and the people that I'm with, like Herb Middleton and the team of people, he's dedicated to making more positive music now, because he was in the game where he said it got so, almost in his words, demonic. It made him step back. And listening to something like that coming from a person like him, I'm like, whoa. And he was serious. Like, so yeah. I look forward to being it's enough craziness. I want to be a little good. I mean,
Cool. So what topics are you gonna touch on this album? Like, what are you gonna talk about? You know, the marriage and the relationships.
oh no,
or
woof.
things like
Oh
that?
Lord,
Are you
jeez, I gotta say that. Like, I don't want to
No?
I don't want to break your hearts on the first one. But this one is entitled "Lonely Testament,"
okay.
and it's pretty much still about love. What you're going back before. Some of the songs really date back to my high school sweetheart. Woof, Jesus. Her name is Essence. I broke up with her. I couldn't even look at the
That's a cool
magazine.
name.
I couldn't look at I see the magazine in the store, yo. I like lose it, like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, yo, nice, man. And she looked like Sally Richardson, man.
Ooh.
I don't know if y'all remember her. Yeah.
Yeah. If you can see Al's face.
Yeah. She married Andre Whitfield, but she could have had me, but it didn't work out. But anyway, but yeah, so the album kind of touches on like some of my breakup with her. So some of the songs even date back to there. But it's an album about, like, you know, it's a little mature too at the same time. Like, those people that may have fallen in love and have had heartbreak and not seeing the fickleness of love and relationships and meeting people in the future and encounters. And if you were to meet somebody after you got your heart broke, you'd be like, man, or the girl would be like, let's just like take our time. Let's just kind of be friends. Let's get to know each other. Like, let's go get some ice cream, you know, because I done had my heart broken before. There's no need to rush. So it's like the kind of songs kind of revolve around that from different perspectives of love lost, and what I want out of future relationships based on what I've been through.
Are you gonna do any songs on how a person can get out of the heartbreak situation?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And there might be some fans in that. You want to slide them just a quick nugget of since you the love doctor right now. Yeah, we got the love doctor, AKA, you know what I'm saying? What's a Big Brother Manny, AKA the love doctor. You know, what's a little coin that you would give on that? If you're writing songs about, you know, how you get through a breakup, what advice would you give to that?
You know, the first thing that I would say, I'm on my Ask Steve Harvey, since you put me on that. First thing that I would think about, I would really, I think the most powerful thing is self-examination. Don't put any blame on the other person. Like, just look at yourself, because the people you choose in life, you chose them, and you choose people as a reflection of yourself or even what you're going through at the time, though. So really, people that we encounter in our life have a lot to do with ourselves, though. So I think I would kind of say, like, just step back, don't blame the person, see all the things you did wrong first. Try to. It's hard to, because it's easy to say like, man, she broke my heart. It was her fault, you know. Like even looking back at my ex-wife, I could sit all day long and tell you all the things she did wrong. But one day I started sitting down like, dang, you know, I did do this, and this.
That's
You know,
powerful.
so I think I would spend more time on myself than the other person.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
Because that's the only way you can truly heal.
You're the person that you're trying to make happy. You're the person that you're trying to make happy. So why would you spend all your time thinking about the other person that you're never going to get back? You should think about yourself so that you can begin that healing to get better.
Powerful.
Yeah, because you don't want to be bitter, man. You know, like and to me, like you say, life is too short. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't have the energy to, like, people say hate and being bitter and all that stuff with people. I just like, man, it's not worth it, man. You know?
Are you almost done with the album? Or have you almost
Got
wrapped
2
it?
more songs left, man.
2 more songs left. Did you write all the songs?
Yeah. I wrote about 80% of the album, co-wrote
Okay.
them with Herb Middleton. Yes, I'm getting my songwriting and publishing.
Okay,
'Cause
all right.
My
Publishing
pa,
quarterly.
I have my own company, 198 Entertainment. Website is under development. Also,
Okay.
EmmanuelWithers.com website. I'm pointing at people, listeners in the podcast, like y'all can hear
They
my
can
points.
see it. It's a spiritual
But it's
thing.
coming through my voice. You can
Twitter?
follow me on Twitter at MannyVocals. Just at MannyVocals, yeah. Then you can check out the video. You go to
Okay.
YouTube right now and just punch in Emmanuel Withers, and you'll find out my first video is Lonely Testament. We just shot Girlfriend with Brother Al over here. You know, I always think you should have like a Big Al Productions. Like I keep saying that, my brother.
Big Al.
I'm pretty sure nobody has that name. I'm pretty sure that's free.
like flick, a few flicks on it. Big
know,
Al.
And I'm also on Facebook, Emmanuel Withers. But definitely in the next
Instagram?
3 weeks, Instagram, Emmanuel Withers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
I gotta follow you, man.
So in the next 2 to 3 weeks, you'll find my actual website will be launched. EmmanuelWithers.com.
going on tour?
Dub. Oh yeah. Just to add to that, I'll be going on tour with the Mighty Temptations.
Nice.
I'm actually replacing Damon Harris. He's from Baltimore, and he was the guy that replaced Eddie Kendricks in the original group. He's the guy actually singing on Papa Was a Rolling Stone and Masterpiece when Eddie Kendricks, Silent Night. After Eddie Kendricks left, I think that was Glenn Leonard, but I don't know. But anyway, I'll be singing with them, starting a world tour in October.
World tour. What's the first country?
It's here, and it actually starts off in Baltimore.
Okay.
They want to start off here in Baltimore because this is where Damon was from. Because it's like a tribute even to him because he died back in February of prostate cancer. And then we're gonna do dates. We got dates up and down the East Coast. Then we go to Europe, Asia, and then the tour ends in Dominican Republic next July.
Nice.
So that's like, and as far as the only thing, my own album is going
Yeah.
to be released sometime next year. We're gonna start releasing the Girlfriend, the single, in about a month and a half from now. So. And I got to work my schedule up with doing, my own material, performing between that and the Temptations. And just know, I'm going to be, on tour with the Temptations, promoting Emmanuel Withers now. So I'll be coming to a theater near you.
So you're gonna do both promos at the same time. So
Yeah,
you're gonna be
we'll
doing
work
the
it.
Temptation
We work
promo
it.
and rolling out your album at the same time.
Yeah, I'm going to work it. But the thing is,
Man,
yeah.
you gonna be
Well, a
working.
lot of the main thing is in the beginning for me for the album is like you were talking about before. Like I have a good team of people now, like attorneys and communications, PR, and internet strategists, and the IT tech people. And like you got to have a good team of people, and it's that online presence I'm really going to be pushing out. That online strategy, that digital internet presence, though. So I'm going to let that kind of push, because that's going to push way further than I could ever go even initially anyway. So
You should do a vlog.
huh?
A vlog.
See that? I'm going to be hollering at these expert minds over here. You know what I mean?
Oh, this.
So the thing is that I'm going to be planning how I can get the music out digitally, first though. So by that time, then the tour will be almost wrapped up, and I can really start pushing, my stuff there. But by then, I want to have the album out there to as many people as possible so I can come and start performing.
Are you gonna do just a digital release, or are you gonna do a physical release?
I want to start digital,
Okay.
and then go to the physical. Even like the online, it's going to be. I didn't say that, but there'll also be an online, release and an offline. Like we're looking at for online radios, DJs, any type of online forum, other magazines and stuff like that, man. But yeah, like, cause the marketing side was so crazy. Like I'm a musician, an artist. Like this marketing side has been something. Has been a new beast for me. This has been a new thing, but I got people around. Like we're starting like bang heads on it in different ways that we can do it. So it's gonna be fun, man. I'm trying. My whole point. I just want to get the music as many people as we possibly can. Like you said, man. It's like almost 7 billion people in the world, man. So it's a big audience, man, for people, man.
All independent.
So
Yep.
all independent. No major label, none of that stuff. But we only down to like the last 30 seconds.
Okay.
That's what I'm like, so we want to wrap it up. We got 33 seconds left.
Yo, but I got major label productions though. Herb
There you
Middleton,
go.
check them out.
There you go. So we're about to wrap this thing
Bad
up.
boy.
Anything that you want to say to the people? I mean, you said enough. Is anything else you want to say? Your last final statement. You got 22 seconds.
Man, I just want to say, man, let love live. Man, that's the best thing you can do. Without love, there's nothing. Always remember that, man. Love conquers all. Emmanuel Withers signing off, man. I love you all.